Saudi Arabia, land of scorching deserts, vast oil reserves, and economic woes? Yes, you heard that right. This nation, often synonymous with wealth and luxury, is grappling with significant economic challenges that are reshaping its future. That's right, folks. The kingdom, known for its opulent lifestyle and global influence, is facing some serious economic challenges. From the glittering malls to the towering skyscrapers, the signs of prosperity are everywhere. But beneath this veneer of affluence lies a complex and evolving economic landscape. It's a story of booms and busts, of lavish spending and sudden austerity, and it's one that has implications not just for Saudi Arabia, but for the entire world. The kingdom's economic journey is a roller coaster ride, with highs that touch the sky and lows that plunge into uncertainty. For decades, Saudi Arabia has been synonymous with oil wealth. The discovery of oil in the 1930s transformed the nation from a desert kingdom into a global economic powerhouse. The black gold, as it's often called, has been the backbone of the Saudi economy, driving growth and development. Black gold, flowing freely from the desert sands, fueled an economic boom that transformed the nation. The oil revenues funded massive infrastructure projects, modern cities, and a high standard of living for its citizens. It seemed like the good times would never end. Skyscrapers pierced the sky, luxury cars clogged the streets, and the good times seemed like they would never end. The kingdom's cities became symbols of modernity and progress, attracting investments and tourists from around the world. But here's the thing about roller coasters. What goes up must come down. The Saudi economy, heavily reliant on oil, is not immune to the fluctuations of the global market. The highs of economic prosperity have been followed by periods of downturn and uncertainty. And in recent years, the Saudi economy has been on a downward spiral. The global oil market has been volatile, with prices experiencing sharp declines. This has had a profound impact on the kingdom's economy, leading to budget deficits and economic reforms. The price of oil, the lifeblood of the nation, has been volatile, leaving the kingdom vulnerable to economic shocks. The fluctuations in oil prices have exposed the risks of over-reliance on a single resource, prompting the government to seek diversification and sustainability. So, buckle up as we delve into the story of Saudi Arabia's economic woes, exploring the factors at play, the impact on its people, and the uncertain road ahead. We'll examine the government's efforts to diversify the economy, the challenges faced by ordinary citizens, and the potential paths to a more stable and prosperous future. Join us on this journey through the highs and lows of Saudi Arabia's economic roller coaster. The gleaming facade of Saudi Arabia, with its opulent malls and luxurious lifestyles, often masks a deeper reality. Behind the glitz and glamour lies an economy grappling with structural weaknesses and a dangerous dependence on a single commodity: oil. For years, the Saudi government has relied heavily on oil revenues, which account for a staggering proportion of its budget. This over-reliance on oil has created a dangerous vulnerability, leaving the kingdom exposed to the whims of the global oil market. When oil prices are high, the Saudi economy thrives. But when prices plummet, as they have in recent years, the cracks in the foundation begin to show. This dependence on oil has also hindered the development of other sectors, creating an unbalanced economy. The non-oil sector, crucial for job creation and sustainable growth, has lagged behind, leaving the kingdom exposed to economic shocks. The consequences of this economic over-reliance are far-reaching, impacting everything from government spending and job creation to the daily lives of ordinary Saudis. Oil, the lifeblood of the Saudi economy. For decades, it has been the cornerstone of the kingdom's financial stability and growth, the source of its immense wealth and, increasingly, the root of its economic woes. This black gold has built skyscrapers, funded lavish lifestyles, and transformed the desert nation into a global economic player. For decades, Saudi Arabia has been the world's oil powerhouse, its vast reserves fueling global demand and shaping geopolitics. The kingdom's influence on the global stage has been undeniable, with its oil policies often swaying international markets. But this dependence on oil has come at a price. The very resource that has brought prosperity also brings vulnerability. The global oil market is notoriously volatile, and this volatility has profound implications for the Saudi economy. The volatility of the global oil market has left the Saudi economy vulnerable to boom and bust cycles. When oil prices are high, the economy thrives. But when they drop, the repercussions are felt across all sectors. When oil prices soar, so does the Saudi economy, flushed with petrodollars. The streets of Riyadh bustle with activity. Luxury cars fill the roads, and high-end malls see a surge in shoppers. But when prices plummet, as they did in recent years, the kingdom feels the pinch. Empty oil barrels and deserted fields become symbols of economic distress. Shops close, and the once thriving economy slows to a crawl. Government revenues dwindle, forcing austerity measures and impacting public spending. Public services are reduced, and the population feels the strain. Protests and public discontent become more common as the government struggles to balance its budget. Moreover, the global shift towards renewable energy sources and the growing awareness of climate change pose a long-term threat to the Saudi oil-dependent economy. The world is moving towards cleaner energy, and this transition is accelerating. As the world transitions away from fossil fuels, Saudi Arabia faces the daunting task of diversifying its economy and finding new sources of revenue. The kingdom has ambitious plans, investing in technology, tourism, and other sectors to reduce its reliance on oil. The age of oil, it seems, is slowly fading, and Saudi Arabia must adapt or risk being left behind. Young entrepreneurs and students are the hope for a diversified future, driving innovation and seeking new opportunities beyond the oil fields. The Kingdom's Vision 2030 is a bold initiative aimed at transforming the economy. It seeks to create a vibrant society, a thriving economy, and an ambitious nation. The journey ahead is challenging, but with determination and strategic planning, Saudi Arabia aims to redefine its future. Embracing cultural heritage, fostering international partnerships, and investing in renewable energy projects are all part of this grand vision. The road to diversification is long, but the potential rewards are immense. As the kingdom navigates this transition, the resilience and ingenuity of its people will be crucial. From students graduating with new skills to tech startups emerging in the bustling cities, the future of Saudi Arabia is being reshaped, one step at a time. While Saudi Arabia is often associated with immense wealth, with its gleaming skyscrapers, luxury cars, and opulent lifestyles, the reality is far more complex. Beneath the surface of this affluent exterior lies a nation grappling with significant economic disparities. Behind the opulent facade lies a stark truth. The gap between the rich and poor is widening, creating a society where the economic anxieties of ordinary Saudis are growing. The economic anxieties of ordinary Saudis are growing as they face the harsh realities of a system that seems increasingly skewed in favor of the wealthy. The concentration of wealth in the hands of a few has led to a situation where the rich continue to amass fortunes, while the majority struggle with limited economic opportunities. This disparity is evident in the job market, where many Saudis find it challenging to secure stable employment. The struggle to make ends meet is a daily reality for many families. They are constantly balancing their budgets, trying to stretch their incomes to cover basic necessities. The rising cost of living, coupled with stagnant wages and limited job prospects, has put immense pressure on middle-class and lower-income families. Everyday expenses, from groceries to utilities, are becoming increasingly burdensome. The middle class, once a symbol of stability and prosperity, is now feeling the squeeze. They are caught between rising expenses and limited opportunities, struggling to maintain their standard of living. The economic disparities are evident in everyday life. While the wealthy enjoy a life of luxury, with access to the best that money can buy, many Saudis grapple with the rising cost of basic necessities like housing, food, and healthcare. The contrast between the lifestyles of the rich and the struggles of the poor is stark. Housing, in particular, has become a significant concern. Many families find it difficult to afford decent accommodation as property prices continue to soar. Food and healthcare are also major expenses that weigh heavily on the budgets of ordinary Saudis. The cost of medical care and essential groceries is rising, making it harder for families to manage their finances. The shrinking middle class, once a pillar of Saudi society, is feeling the squeeze. They are caught between rising expenses and limited opportunities, struggling to maintain their standard of living. The government's austerity measures, implemented to address the budget deficit, have further exacerbated these inequalities. These measures have led to cuts in public spending and subsidies, making life even more challenging for the average citizen. The budget deficit has forced the government to take drastic steps, but these measures have not been without consequences. The reduction in subsidies and public services has hit the most vulnerable segments of society the hardest. The impact of these austerity measures is felt most acutely by those who are already struggling. The reduction in financial support and public services has made it even more difficult for low-income families to get by. The economic disparities in Saudi Arabia are a pressing issue that needs to be addressed. The growing gap between the rich and poor is not just a matter of income inequality. It is a challenge that affects the very fabric of society. Addressing these disparities will require concerted efforts from all sectors of society, including the government, businesses, and the community at large.